Yo, what is up, guys? This is RIzzyPOW, and this is week 3 of the NPL, the National Pokeball League. Today we're going to be going up against Dallas Boy 1992, a really good battler. We actually faced him once last season. I did win that match, and then we faced his team earlier in the season. So I battled him like week 5 or something, and then again week 11. Week 5, though, he wasn't actually playing. It was Daniki playing for him, and I ended up losing that match, but in week 11, I did win against the actual player himself, Dallas, where nobody was taking over for him. So that's pretty cool. But I know he's a super solid battler. And I was definitely really scared for this match. The team matchup isn't that bad. So I wasn't like super scared. Definitely I was a bit more, not like confident, but I was less nervous for this match as I was with Abe. With Abe, I just wanted to desperately get a win because I didn't want the 0-8 meme to continue and shit, and I didn't want the chance of me going 0-8 again happening in this league. So once I got my first win, I kind of like calmed down, and I think I'll be able to play a lot better just because, you know, I'm not super nervous whenever a battle starts. I'm a bit more calm, so that's really nice. So I'm just going to read off the team matchups this week. So my team is Mega Kangaskhan, Hoopa Unbound, Necrozma, Sylveon, Scolipede, Chandelure, Donphan, Tornadus Eye, Magneton, Mantine, and Bisharp. And actually this week, for week 4 is the first week that we could have like we could make free agency drops and stuff. So it won't count this week. But I actually dropped Magneton and what else? I dropped Magneton and Chandelure for Rotom Heat, and I dropped it for Rotom Heat, and I dropped it for Goodra. So there's that, but that won't take effect until week 4. So there's that. We got this team right over here, so I'm just gonna hop into the team builder right over here. Oops, you guys saw that set, but that's fine. So the first I'm bringing Necrozma is John Cena. Also, I spent like 2 minutes literally making these names. I just slapped on names right before the battle happened, and some of these names did not fit. Like, it was pretty funny in the battle. Like, I named Sylveon Can't Think of a Name. Yeah, I know, great name. And it turned out Can't Think of a Nah. And then I'm like, I don't know why I drafted this, because, you know, I regret this this pick. And it was like, I don't know why I draft. It was just bad. But we got Is John Cena right here, so I named this Dallas has a thing for John Cena. But I brought Double Dance Necrozma, and one mistake that I made in this team builder is that I focused too much on Necrozma. Also, I think I made a mistake and I didn't read out Dallas's team, but Dallas's team will be on the side anyway, and I don't feel like reading it out, so I'm not gonna read it out. But Dallas's team will be on the side. I forgot to list it off, but yeah, the reason why I have this is just because, you know, it's my win con this week. It actually it does really well versus him. Only things that I was thinking before the battle was Heart Swap Magearna could be an issue. So I had a scout for Heart Swap Magearna really well. Magearna was a very scary mon. Like, he could bring a lot of Magearna sets versus me. He could have brought Shift Gear. He could have brought in like Bulky with Rocky Helmet and Pain Split. Some people brought that to me in mocks, and there's also AV, which was just also really good for like stuff like Tornadus and stuff. And just looking to Steam, also like the biggest threats. Magearna is obviously a pretty big threat. Zard X destroys me. Like, at least I thought it destroyed me. It was really good versus me, I thought. Rotom Wash could have been an issue. Also, Decidueye was Decidueye could have been a bit of a problem because it is his ghost type, and, you know, I have a Mega Kangaskhan. What else? There was not many threats besides that, though. I thought Weezing would come, though, as well. So the mons are over here. Well, actually, I already just said this, that this is just my sweeper, and also these might not be my exact spreads that I have this week. I kind of changed some of them just for the video, but yeah, my next mon is Chandelure. I actually had some speed on this. I can't really remember what the speed was, but this was my actual EV spread. So since you know, I knew I had a scout for Magiarna this match. If it had heart swap, I wanted a dedicated switch into it. So I had Kasib, Berry, Chandelure, Toxic, Pain Split, Hex, and Flamethrower. If he sees this thing, I might be aggressive and try toxicking his Magiarna, because like there's a very good chance he'll switch out on this. Just because why would you stay with a Magiarna on a Chandelure? So Flamethrower was my main form of stab, but I have Toxic plus Hex, which could also do damage to certain mons. Pain Split was just there for reliable recovery. I didn't really see myself clicking Pain Split too much. I was thinking of actually taking it off at the end for Memento, but I ended up not doing that. My next mon is Donphan. This time I just wanted max HP, max defense set, and I wanted this mostly for his Zardex, just to be able to take a hit from it, get him some Rocky Helmet damage because it was a huge threat versus my team, and hit him up with an Earthquake. I actually made a mistake with this set. I wanted to take knockoff for spin. I was going to change this last second, like I was thinking of the match, and I ended up forgetting to do it on the actual team builder, but I wanted to take this off for rapid spin. The reason why, originally I thought rapid spin wasn't that big of a deal, because even though I have 2 mons weak to rocks on the team, being Chandelure and Tornadus Eye, I decided that, you know, I have 2 Wish Passers actually. I have both Mega Kangaskhan and Sylveon as Wish Passers, so, and it's pretty easy to pass wishes on them. Like, if Magiarna is out, I can pass a wish into it. If Tornadus is out, I can and like there's a Wheezing out on the field, which might be his dedicated switch into offensive Mega Kangaskhan or something like that. Then I could pass a wish into that, just taking a Sludge Bomb or something, or a Will-O-Wisp, and getting back to full health after rocks. But so I thought that spin wasn't that important, but then I realized that Wheezing's there's a good chance he'll bring Wheezing, and Toxic Spikes do really well versus my team, and I could easily lose, especially because of this thing. I do have Heal Bell support, but if I can't get rid of the hazards, and every time I come in with Necrozma, it's badly poisoned, that could be a very big issue because my team is built around Necrozma. So I want to take this off for a rapid spin. I end up forgetting, so hopefully he does not get T-Spikes up versus me, or that could be a huge problem. I kept on getting swept by Double Dance Lando in my mocks, so I decided to put Ice Shard on here because that would have saved me in many mocks, and it's just a huge threat to me. So that's the main reason why I have Ice Shard. Next mon, I have bulky freaking Mega Kangaskhan right here. We just got, you know, makes defensive right here. We got Seismitoss, and then we got Ice Punch. Ice Punch was there to hit Lando and stuff. And it was also there to hit Decidueye, which is his only ghost type, which is immune to Seismic I got Wish Protect just to pass wishes into stuff that don't have recovery, like Donphan and Chandelure, just because it's going to be hard to Pain Split on stuff. So I got a Wish Protector, Wish Mon right there. Next mon, I decided to bring Sylveon. Now, I didn't really necessarily think Sylveon was very good this match, but I mainly brought it just for Heal Bell support, because I'm building around this Double Dance Necrozma this match because I want this thing to win, and I think it has a very good chance to win. So if this thing gets toxic, I cannot win. So I want to Heal Bell support with it. The main reason why I don't like this thing versus team, Sylveon's very good versus his team in general, except he has a Magiarna which can switch into Sylveon every single time. Sylveon cannot touch Magiarna. So what I decided was, especially since the main reason why Sylveon was here was just for Heal Bell support, it didn't really wall anything besides like Rotom Wash, and like even this walled Rotom Wash, but if it had Toxic, could be an issue, and even Necrozma. But obviously I don't want, it wouldn't be very good against a Toxic Rotom Wash, which was what I was sort of expecting. I was either expecting him to have Toxic or Signal Beam for my Hoopa. Yeah, so what was I saying? I have Wish Yawn, so I decided to get rid of Protect just because, you know, it's only there for Heal Bell support, and I definitely want to keep Heal Bell. I had to keep Hyper Voice as stab, and Yawn was there just because like, he doesn't have any good fairy resist besides Magiarna, so if I yawn him on the Magiarna switch, and I can fire off a Hyper Voice versus team, or even get a Wish off, and he does not appreciate that. If he ends up killing me off while Magiarna is on the field, he'll go to sleep. You know, after I yawn him, he'll go to sleep. So that was my my thought process with this. And so let's see if that works. My last mon actually is, this is not the exact spread, so that's why 4 is missing right here, but I decided to go with Scarf Tornadus. I originally had actually a Hoop Unbound right here at Life Orb with like Fire Punch and Double Stab. That was my main way of weakening his Magiarna, but I decided to bring this just for the speed, and because the rest of my team was very slow that was bringing this week, and I just wanted just some speed, because stuff like Megazard X or like Shift Gear Magiarna can overwhelm me. So this thing can outspeed Magiarna after a Shift Gear hit up with a Heat Wave, so that's really nice. I can also U-turn around and get momentum versus his team. I have Air Slash because I don't want to miss Hurricanes, man. I don't want to miss. And this was also another mistake. I don't know how Hidden Power Ice got here. I originally had Hidden Power Ice, but I decided to change it for extra sensory just to hit his Wheezing a bit harder, because I was pretty positive that thing was coming. But in the game it was Hidden Power Ice, and I'm not sure why. Something's got messed up. I could have sworn I changed this extra sensory, but I guess it was Hidden Power Ice for this match. But yeah, this is the team that I brought versus Dallas. Hope you guys enjoy the team builder, and obviously, I mean, I guess it's too late to say it now, but there was a time thing in the description if you guys wanted to skip it, but I should have probably said that earlier. That would have been a good idea, right, Riz? No, I'm an idiot. But I'll see you guys in the actual match. Peace. Yo, what is up, guys? I already said my intro. That was a mistake. I feel like I do that in like every video. Yeah, this is the actual battle up against Dallas right over here. As you can see, this is the team. If you guys did not see the team builder, it's literally in the beginning part of this video. You should have seen it, or maybe if you didn't want to see it, you just skipped it. But I don't know. But yeah, as you can see, his team, he actually did not bring Megazard X. I was like, I don't know, dude. Megazard X was super scary versus my team. Although Dallas did have his reasonings, but I don't know. I just thought it was definitely going to come versus me. Like last week, I was almost 100% sure that he was going to bring Mega Altaria versus me, and then he didn't. So not sure. I'm not sure why people aren't bringing their like offensive DD Megas versus me, because they're pretty good. But I guess it makes sense. People's reasonings. I still think it was amazing versus my team. But as you can see, he brought Wheezing, which I definitely was expecting. Magiarna was 100%. I was sure that was going to come. Decidueye, I was pretty sure that or Braylon would come, but I was more expecting Decidueye to come just for its nice ghost typing for Mega Kangaskhan. Lando T was another huge threat. This thing I was expecting to be Rock Polish. Like I was either expecting this thing to be defensive or Rock Polish, and 100%. And I actually messed up a little bit in the game because we'll see. And then Cobalion, this thing is probably just here for rocks, especially if Lando T is already here. He probably isn't defensive, so I was definitely thinking this thing was Rock Polish at this time, and he probably had rocks on this, or he had rocks on Lando, and he was like SD Cobalion, which is also a bit scary for me. And then Meloetta, Meloetta was the least one I expected for my team, but I guess he brought it for stuff like Chandelure and stuff like that. But yeah, I obviously have I just went over my team, so I'm not going to go over it. But Mega Kangaskhan was always going to be my lead versus his team, so I'm just going to go for it right here. Leading off with Mega Kangaskhan, and right here, I decided to go for the Ice Punch, and I think that was a very bad play on my part. Just because, even if like Seismic Toss was the best play, because Ice Punch, at least what I thought, if he wasn't max defensive, Ice Punch would have been able to 2-hit KO the Decidueye, and even if the Decidueye got a free switch into me, it didn't really matter that much, because all he could really do is Toxic me, and he can't even SD pass on me because, you know, I have Ice Punch, and as long as he isn't like super defensive, then Ice Punch should be able to 2-hit KO it, although I do have minus attack. I guess I did have a minus attack, but I definitely think that Seismic Toss was the best play, because even though Decidueye is kind of hard to deal with, I could just have switched into Tornadus, and even though I was taking a lot of damage, it would have been able to scare it out. Maybe Ice Punch was the better play, but I did click Ice Punch, and he goes hard into Wheezing right here. So if I click Seismic Toss, I would have been able to 2-hit KO that thing. And now I'm just going to be having to take 2 Rock Helmet damages for almost no reason. So now right here, I don't remember what I actually do. Oh, he actually makes a double out into this, and I actually just go for a Wish, because the only thing I'm thinking he can do to me is like Toxic me. He could have gone his Toxic Spikes up right there, which would have been a pretty bad for me. And right here, I go for a wish, and I didn't protect because I thought I could have lived a hit, and I just died to a superpower. This thing is probably offensive. He did crit me, so I wasn't 100% sure if he's offensive, but I'm pretty sure he's offensive because he did outspeed, so that crit didn't really matter. If it did and he wasn't offensive, I'm going to be really sad. But if I played really bad with my king this game, I should have seismic tossed, and then I just let it go to that. So that was a bad play on my part. I'm deciding I'm going to go Tornadus right here, and I'm going to be very aggressive and just go for a heat wave on the incoming Magiarna. As right here, I'm just going to go hard out into my Chandelure, and that Flower Cannon did a shit ton. I know it should, like, that's not like that much. It did like 33%, but that was a lot for my spread and the fact that I was resisted. So that's not the best. I'm just going to go for a Toxic right here, be a bit aggressive because there's no way he was staying in. And I'm just going to go hard in Magiarna because even if he's like a sub-common variant, he is Toxic, so I will be able to beat it 1v1. And right here, I'm just going to go and fire off a Wish, and I'm going to switch out back into my Chandelure, getting it back to full health. As he's going to bring back out his Lando T. So I'm going to switch out into my Donphan. He also did not bring Zard, so keeping this healthy isn't like the best, not the best. Like, I don't need to keep this thing healthy because he didn't bring Zard, and I'm fine with this. If he did Earthquake, I got my Rocks up. If he did U-turn, he taking some nice damage from Rocky Helmet. So right here, I'm gonna actually go hard into my Tornadus right here, and I'm just gonna fire off a U-turn. Could have just Air Slash right here, but I guess he was being a bit aggressive, and there's that. So I'm just gonna go with my Chandelure. I wasn't sure his set. I didn't want to go Sylveon here and him being an SD passing variant, because then you could just set up all over Sylveon and pass it to something like Lando T, and then maybe be Rock Polish. Maybe Rock Polish plus 3 attacks was his set, even though he did reveal Superpower. He might not be SD, and he might just be Rock Polish. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want him to pass like Cobalion. I just didn't want him to SD all over my face, pretty much, if he did have that. So I'm just going to go into this, and I know I can take another one, so I'm just going to go fire off a Toxic. And the reason why I want for Toxic right here was because like Flamethrower, he could always roost it up later, and what Toxic did is it just helped my team deal with it a bit better. Like, he would not be able to set up all over Sylveon because he'd die for Toxic, although he'd probably be able to set up an SD or 2. At least he wouldn't be able to set up to +6. Yeah, I just wanted the Toxic off. Unfortunately, he did switch out into his Meloetta, and right here is going to make a switch out into his Magiarna, as I'm just going to go into my Necrozma, and right here I'm going to start going for game. I'm going to go for the Calm Mind, and he's going to go straight out into Decidueye. So right here I take a moment making this play because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if this was either Toxic or not, and I decided that I do have Heal Ball in the back. Let's see if he's Toxic. If he doesn't have Toxic, I pretty much win the game right here, because there's nothing you can really do about this. This thing just will win, unless he's like Heart Swap Magiarna or something, which I don't think he is. I think that might have been AV damage, but I don't remember. So right here, he actually has Haze. He doesn't have Toxic, and this is a huge problem because I could have dealt with Toxic because oh shit. Because if he Toxic me, I could have gotten another Calm Mind up, and I could have at least gotten rid of Decidueye, and then I could have Heal Belled my Decidueye, my Necrozma later. I could have gotten a free switch into it if I got a Wish off on it, and things would have been good. But now this thing just straight up stops my Necrozma. So right here, I'm gonna decide to go for another Calm Mind. He can't touch me because he does have Spirit Shackle, so it's not like I'm forced out. We'll just be like at a stalemate right here. And just in case he wants to be aggressive and switch out into his Lando T, I definitely thought this was a better play because I could get damage off on his Decidueye. So right here, I go for a Calm Mind, and he's going to U-turn out as he does be a bit aggressive, and he goes in a Lando right here. And right here, I think I actually go for the Rock Polish. This was definitely a misplay because I was almost 100% sure he was U-turning back out into his Decidueye. And if I Calm Minded up right here, yeah, if I Calm Minded up right here, I think we already saw that outsped. So if I did Calm Mind up right here, then I would have just been able to kill him with a stored power. But since I Rock Polish, this stored power is not going to be able to kill him. So I kind of fucked up right there, and that's not the best for me. But it's still fine. This thing is really low, and I got it at a really low amount of health. He does roost up right here as I get a free switch into my Tornadus, and I'm just going to go for a Heat Wave right here, as that's pretty nice. And then what happened was I get the burn, but I got a really low roll, and that's what really sucks about this, because he can get a flamethrower off, which if he gets rocks up, that's gonna hurt my chances. But if he went for T-Spikes right there, which I'm not sure if he did have T-Spikes, he probably did, honestly. And if he went for T-Spikes right there, I could have been in a very bad position because I didn't get the roll. But now he's going to go straight on to Meloetta. I am Scarf, so I am forced out. I can't even U-turn if I want to. I'm just going to go out of my Sylveon. Since he's toxic, I will beat him 1v1. And right here, I think I just go straight for the yawn. I need to play very aggressive this match in order for me to win, because I'm not looking in a good position. I built too much around Necrozma. And and because of that, I might lose. Lose because he has a very good stop to Necrozma, being Decidueye. And I also misplayed earlier by going for Rock Polish instead of Calm Mind. Calm Mind would have won me the game. Straight up right there. I would have straight up won, I'm pretty sure, if I went for Calm Mind. Right here, I go for a yawn, and because of the yawn, I get a free Hyper Voice off on something. I do crit, but 2 Hyper Voices would, it didn't really matter. We'll see later in the game. I switch yawn to this because I hard wall this thing as he gets up his rocks, and rocks are a bit of an issue to me, but I can still pass. It's gonna be hard because Mega King is gone, but I do still have 1 Wish Passer left in Sylveon, but it's still gonna be hard getting health back into both my weakened mons that are weak to rocks, being Chandelure and Tornadus. Right here, I'm just going to go for a Flamethrower. That does quite a bit of damage, as Toxic is going to do damage to it. And I'm just going to go out into my Sylveon again. He goes for a Shadow Ball. Doesn't do much damage to me, as right here, I think this time I misplayed right here again. I should have gone for another Wish. Or I should have not gone for Wish. I should have gone for another Yawn. I didn't go for Yawn because I thought it was really obvious, but at the same time, he had no reason not to go Magiana, because even if I yawned and he went to something else, he would have been forced out. And just in case I did Hyper Voice, it was his best place to go to Magiana. So I misplayed a little bit. I should have gone for Yawn, although I didn't. And but I'm gonna be able to take this this Flash Cannon, and get my health back. And I yawned him right there, so damage is done. He got yawned, and now I'm gonna be able to fire off a free Hyper Voice and kill off his Cobalion. So that's pretty good for us. He's going to go back out into this, as this time he got a high roll and he killed me. I was going to go for Yawn right there, and what Yawn would have done for me is that I would have gone a switch out into Donphan. He would have been forced to switch out or be fallen asleep, and I would have been able to spin on something or go for a knockoff on his Decidueye. I'd have decided on his potentially incoming Decidueye. But he did get the roll, which is pretty unfortunate. So I'm just going to go into this. He does have the Soul Heart boost, but I know I can live any hit from this thing, because it doesn't look like it has Shadow Ball, because he'd have probably gone for it by now. So I'm going to go to my Chandelure, and I'm just going to fire off a Flamethrower. It doesn't really look good for me. I don't think I'm going to be able to win this game at this point. But I go for a Pain Split first, because just to get some health back, and if he did switch out, almost everything was at full health. I could have gotten a lot of health back, but I decided to switch out right here, or I decided to just go for the Flamethrower after that, and I'm gonna let his Meloetta kill me off, because Chandelure just wasn't that useful, especially since rocks were up. And now I'm gonna go out into my Necrozma, and I'm gonna try, I think right here I Moonlight up, and he got the Spit After Drop, which also sucks. Now I kind of disagreed with this play, just because if I did Calm Mind up right there, if I Calm Mind up right there and I went for 2 Calm Minds, I think I might have been able to win the game, I think right here. But he decides to just go for the Shadow Ball. I think that's what have happened, but he did get the Spit After Drop, so I wouldn't have been able to win the game. But I think if I went for 1, I might be completely wrong right here, and then I Moonlighted up, because he is toxic. I thought he was going to straight up switch out into Decidueye, not giving me a chance to win, but he did. He didn't do that, and he just went into his Meloetta. And yeah, actually no. If I went for a Calm Mind and then a Rock Polish, I think I won, because he was in range of stored power with a Calm Mind boost and a Rock Polish up. I think Decidueye was in range at that point. So if I did that, I would have won. But I expected him to just hard switch out into Decidueye, and I wanted some health back. Probably misplayed right there. I should have gone for Calm Mind, but it's fine. Now Meloetta is going to die, and he goes out into Decidueye. Sorry this is also taking a long time. This is a really long match as well, so trying to commentate and give what exactly everything I thought. So right here he brings out into Decidueye, and right here I'm thinking that there's not really any way I can win. My way to win is I have to sack off Tornadus. At this point I was under the impression that he had Leaf Blade on his Decidueye, but I should have known that he's actually really revealed all 4 moves, so I should have probably just gone hard out into Donphan, and what the play would have been was go for knockoff, and he was in range of knockoff plus Ice Shard, depending on his investment if he wasn't Cobra Berry, and then I could have killed this thing off, and Necrozma was healthy enough to be able to set up on either Lando or Magiarna, assuming Lando was not doubled. I mean, no, he obviously wasn't double dance because he had superpower, and he needed like edge and earthquake if he was double dance. So right here, I'm going to sack off Tornadus. This was also another misplay. I didn't play the best this game. I did make some misplays because I knew he didn't have Leaf Blade. I think the play was just go hard out into Donphan and hope that a knockoff plus Ice Shard would be able to kill, as that does nothing, and I'm just going to go for a knockoff right here. And he is Cobra Berry, so obviously knockoff plus Ice Shard is not going to kill this thing, and I pretty much just lose to this Decidueye. So right here I'm just going to play this game out. I'm either hoping on like a choke or a crit or something in my favor to be able to win, but it's not looking that good for me. He's just going to roost up, and I'm just going to spam a knockoff and Ice Shard, and it's not looking good for me, but he actually ends up choking right here. He goes for U-turn. He takes a Rocky Helmet damage, which puts him in 37%. So because of that, he lets his Decidueye low, and I'm not sure why U-turn right there. It might have been a misplay. Oops, sorry. Let me actually, I think he might have said in the chat it was a misplay. I'll be on guard for that while watching the replay, but he let that thing get weakened, and right here I am with my Donphan, and I just click knockoff right here because now I pretty much won the game, because Necrozma can set up on this thing, and +1/+1 stored power should be able to kill the Decidueye or be a roll, or if not, 2 of them should be able to kill it. So right here I actually go for knockoff in case he like realizes his mistake and goes back out into Decidueye expecting an earthquake and living in an earthquake plus Ice Shard. But I just went to go for a knockoff because I wanted to use Magiarna as setup fodder for my for this mon for Necrozma. So I'm just going to sack off my Donphan, go into Necrozma right here, and I am out of range. After a Calm Mind, I am out of range of a +1 floor cannon. So this should be game unless he gets some crits. It's looking like it. Now, what happened right here is Decidueye, this is a roll on it. This stored power is a roll on it, but if he does haze me, stored power should be able to kill him after, especially because he's not leftovers. Depending on my roll, I could have probably gone 2 low rolls and been able to lose this game, because if I got like a low roll on the first stored power, maybe the second stored power wouldn't be able to kill because I don't have any Calm Mind boosts or and no boost for my stored power. So I'm just gonna go for the stored power, and I end up, instead of getting the roll, I end up getting a crit. So at that point I have pretty much won this game because I can just set up all over Lando, because I think he's Scarf. He might be no, he can't be Scarf. He might be Scarfed, I'm not sure, but I don't know. I don't think he was Scarf. I think it was just offensive and fast. But yeah, I'm just going to be able to set up all over this Lando, and I'm going to be able to set up even on Magiarna, and there's nothing really he can do at this point. He did get a crit right there, but even a crit only did 51%, so the first time I'm bringing Necrozma on the NPL is doing a lot of work, but I really should have not won that game. Dallas really, he choked. I should have lost this game. because if he just stayed in with Decidueye and kept on going for Spirit Shackle, he did win, and I thought I lost at that point, but he did choke by going for the U-turn. So make sure you go check out Dallas. I know he choked, but he's a really good battler, and this was a really good game. Ended up being actually really long. It was like 54 turns long, so that's kind of crazy, but yeah, make sure you go check him out. I know he was pretty upset after this loss because he choked pretty much, and anyone would be mad at themselves if they choked a game away, especially, you know, in a league match where you spend so much time prepping your team for an opponent, and then just for all that to go to waste just because you choked and made a little bit of a misplay. And everybody makes misplays, so make sure to go and check out Dallas. Support him. He's a great guy. And hope you guys enjoyed. But since we did win, we are now 2-1. We are -1 differential because I lost week 1 5-0 to Razor, which I really should have clicked Seismic Toss at the end, and if I did, I would actually be like at a 0 differential. Would have been pretty nice, you know. But I'll take 2-1. I know I only won because Danza choked, and I did make some misplays. I could have taken out Decidueye earlier if I did call Mind Up and stuff. Yeah, we take those. We take even if Dallas did choke a little bit, we take those. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to go watch out for like everybody's battles this week, because there was a shit ton of transfers made, and you're not going to be able to see the transfers unless you see everyone's video, or I guess you could also check out the fan doc. So hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.